Well, welcome to tonight's show. You're with Tom, Brian and Steve, and this is NRL from the Sidelines. And as we do every time this week, I'm with two pack of idiots who are just going to drive me crazy for the next hour or so. But we're going to try and talk about the NRL anyway and try and get some intelligent comment out of these two.
Well,
Gentlemen,
you should stop then.
how are we tonight?
Well, we good.
Yeah, you can't speak because you can't have anything intelligent to say. No, go.
It's just fun to pick on you, Steve.
Yeah.
I don't know why I put up with them. How are you tonight?
Excellent.
You good?
Yeah,
Yes.
fantastic.
It's been a good round of football.
It has been.
It's been a ripper round
It's
of
a
footy.
wide winner's circle this week.
It is.
Can the circle be wide? I suppose it can, yes.
Yeah. It includes all three of us this week, which is interesting.
And some other unexpected wins. St George get up again.
Yeah, I picked the Titans.
So did I. So did I.
Well, they looked good the week before, and now they were like kindergarten kids. It was disgusting.
Well, speaking of kindergarten kids, North Queensland Cowboys.
Oh, they did come back.
We will talk about that.
Well, no, the Tigers just stopped playing, I think.
All right.
So let's get this show started. Thank you for joining us, everybody. And we are going to get started. But firstly, I was absolutely...
He's going to make me mad out there, people. I know. He already said he's going to get me.
No.
Get me mad.
I have something else coming up soon.
Right.
But I thought I'd ease into it first. I want to talk about Stephen Carney.
Ooh.
You know what? I think everybody's been expecting it. But right now, when they're living away from home, they're in Australia, they have no family with them,
Yeah.
I think there's bad form. What do you guys think?
Yep.
Yeah.
To sack him.
The timing is terrible. I mean,
Very average.
I heard Cameron George on the radio today, and they said the boss wants to go a completely different direction. They want to reinvent the club, etc., etc., etc. But I mean, with all that the Warriors fans, but particularly the players and the coaching staff have gone through, and all their support staff, it's just really lousy timing.
Do you realise that ugly things on your head are messing around with the lighting? No, okay, sorry.
So's your haircut. Yeah, look, I think it was terrible timing. And I really feel for Todd Payton, who's been basically lumped with the job of taking over. And when you see him being interviewed, he looks like he's at a funeral. Seriously. They've taken it really hard.
Go on.
Tough.
Well, I thought the timing was strange because right now the Warriors are, although getting beaten, because they've moved over here, they're it's nearly everybody, they really are nearly everybody's second favourite team for right now.
Yeah.
And, that kind of popularity buys you a lot of votes, but apparently not if you're the coach.
Yeah, pretty tough. Apparently this has been coming for a while, but why didn't they do it earlier? Why didn't they do it at the beginning of the season?
Well, they extended his contract last year, so it's got me beat.
Yeah, and why give him a 3-year extension, maybe a 1-year extension?
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
What I'm disappointed about is that some of the players have come out and said how gutted they are as well. But you know what? They're the ones who have to perform on and off the field. There's no doubt they would have heard the same rumours that we all have.
Yep.
About so if they say, we needed to have tried. Well, why didn't you try harder before? When you heard originally the rumours were that we're going to get rid of him anyway.
I think it's a cultural problem at the Warriors. I think it's been like that forever. And I think, they need a tough, hard-nosed coach to come in.
Well, in saying that, there's been a number... Although the Warriors bosses say they haven't spoken to anyone, there are a number of ex-coaches that have put their hand up and said, oh, yeah, we're interested.
And a couple, one or two that are actually coaching at the moment.
Yeah.
Who had their names thrown around. Wayne Bennett and Michael Maguire to start with. I don't know why Michael Maguire would leave the Tigers.
No.
I know Bennett has another, 18 months at South. So,
he's been pitched for the Dragons job and the Dogs job.
And the Dogs, and now the Warriors. His name's all over the place. But let's talk about some of those others. Jeff Tuvey.
Toofs.
I'm not sure about Jeff Tuvey.
I'm a big fan of Anthony Griffin for that job. I just think that he is an old school disciplinarian, and I think they just need They just need some
Yeah,
discipline.
I don't think they need an up-and-coming coach. I don't think they need someone who's new to it. I think they need an old head.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I think that the two standouts, if I was a Warriors supporter, I'd be hoping that they either got in Nathan Brown or Griffin.
Why Nathan Brown?
Because
I know he's had success in England, but not really in Australia.
But look at what he did at Newcastle. He took a roster that was decimated and a team that was, last, second last, and then, and admittedly he was sacked because perhaps he isn't the right person to take them to the next level. But look where they are now, and he made a lot of those signings.
And that's one of the things that he actually said, that he's the sort of coach who can rebuild a team, but maybe he's not the sort of coach who can take a team to success.
So perhaps a general manager of football.
The other problem we've got is that New Zealand may not be as attractive to mainland players. And you've got to attract them. So you've got to have maybe you have to have a good coach there first to attract those players. Yeah. So it's 6 of one and a half of the other. It's a hard one. Chicken or the egg is what I meant to say.
Okay. So anyway,
get the coach or to get the players.
We'll see what happens, I guess, in the next couple of months, and just see how that. I mean.
Yeah, but as Tom said to me, it's a poison chalice. Whoever takes it,
it is.
I don't think the next coach there will be successful. I think it'll be a long time building, and I think that whoever takes it is
I don't know.
is doomed.
They've got a good base to start with. They've got some decent players in their team.
Yeah, but
it's always been attitude, unfortunately. I think, and that I wouldn't say that about every single player, but I think there's a culture of mediocrity, and it's not good.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to Melbourne. Melbourne have a couple of issues now using their home ground because of COVID situation with the AFL.
The bleak city with the bleak team.
Some of our
You'll be copying that from Sally, don't you?
Yeah. Some of our people who comment on our Facebook page aren't happy with the fact that Melbourne are going to have to change home grounds.
But then again, Melbourne do get to play in Melbourne an awful lot. So
but that's all right. You get to play in Sydney an awful lot too.
Yeah, look, I think overall the league needs to do what is best for everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
And unfortunately, that means Storm not playing at
Amy Park.
And I guess we just have to look at what New Zealand have had to do. Say, well, okay, is that, if it's good enough for them, is it good enough for everybody else?
Yep, that's right. Can they relocate? Yeah, and so they'll need to. Well, I personally think that they need to relocate, but I don't know where to.
Yeah.
But
it's hard to know.
Tough luck, Melbourne.
It's a big decision.
Suck it up, Melbourne. Decision didn't go your way.
Sally.
These are not the opinions of everybody on this committee. Players coming out of the bubble.
Well, it's interesting with what's happening in Victoria. Given what's happening with Melbourne, the Melbourne Storm, I mean, they're clean, they're clear, but they're in a town where COVID is rearing its head again, and so that's a worry. So that's another reason why Melbourne may have to move, and they need to get them out of there before we start opening up the bubble for the rest of the clubs.
Yeah,
it is the hard part. So
it's facts of life.
Yeah,
facts of life, and I guess we're in this extraordinary times, as people keep talking about. It has to be done.
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented.
I'd like to say I feel sorry for Melbourne, but I don't. So
you're so harsh. You're so cruel.
At this point, Sally, you can hear the clicking of Sally turning off right now.
Yeah, she's gone.
She's loving it.
She's gone.
She knows it. She knows that Melbourne got a good run, and now they're finally being brought back down to earth.
Oh dear.
After they lost on the weekend as well.
I know. Don't worry, I'm going to get to that.
All right. I am getting fed up, tired, annoyed, and just overall over this stripping rule. I am just so sick of how is a referee or the what's wrong?
No, I'm thinking about my response. Yeah.
How is anyone to determine what is intent? So over the weekend we had a number of issues where the ball was grabbed and pulled out But no, that was just in the motion of trying to tackle, so no penalty. We had another one where someone came over the top of someone and slapped down on the ball, but that was just in the motion of tackling, and I don't know how everyone tackles like that, but they don't. And then there were other ones where they were holding onto the ball and it was a penalty. We need to get this right. We need to get this consistently right, or change the stripping rule. So you either, anytime you've got your hands on the ball, it's a strip, or let's just go open slather. Because honestly, I don't understand it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it almost has to come to the fact of any time the defender's hand comes in contact with the ball and the ball is released from the attacking player, it's a knock on.
If you have your hand over the ball while it's being held, over the edge of the ball, and the player is coming down and it comes out, you may not have done that, but you know what? Your intention is to hold the ball. Can we stop it? I'm honestly,
it's a very grey rule because there's so many different
rule.
Permutations of how that can present. I think
I'm okay with it.
It's a hard one. It's a hard one to police. There's no doubt.
Well, I am okay with it because if you have a rule, if you change the rule to be more harsh, to be stricter, where a defending player touches the ball and it's a penalty, you will have players dropping the ball and saying, "But his hand was on it."
Yes, I know. I get
and there will be, and then you know what? We'll be sitting here saying, "Oh my goodness, we've got to do something about those blokes that are milking penalties." Yeah. There is no solution. Basically, I would leave it to the ref's discretion, and I'm happy to say, you know what? They were playing at the ball, they weren't playing at the ball, and let it roll on.
Well, that goes with the one referee rule, isn't it? I mean, you're actually accepting less scrutiny. So.
But the difference is that it needs to be done quickly, because at the moment, you know, it happens, and then your Fox or your Channel 9 replay it and replay it and replay it, and then the commentators are all, I don't know how you could be saying that was a strip of the ball. Oh, your hand can't move like that. Oh, he's definitely. You know what? Just don't replay it. Just get on with the game.
But if you lash out at the ball,
yep.
I don't care that you're coming behind. If you're lashing out over the top of someone,
you're not trying to tackle.
You're not trying to tackle him. You're trying to hit the ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you hit the ball and it's out, but that's the thing. They said, loose carry.
Yeah, and it should be a loose carry because you know what? 9 times out of 10, they're trying to offload it.
That's fine. Then every time someone lashes at the ball, it's either a loose carry or it's not a loose carry.
No, the other because if they've got it wrapped up and they're deliberately playing at the ball, it's a penalty.
No,
it's hand on the ball.
It doesn't work.
Hand on the ball, 6 again.
The other one that annoys me is when the fullback's catching the bomb. If it goes behind him, sometimes it's a knock on, and sometimes it's not.
I hate the knock on.
And the other one is when there's a pass. When there's a pass, when there's a pass and it goes through the hands, and he doesn't catch it, and it goes behind him, knock on.
Yeah, but you know what?
It's a different interpretation.
A knock on's a knock on.
No, that's right.
It's the same as a forward pass as a forward pass.
Yeah, no. But you know,
unless you're Danny Levi, and then they're all backwards.
You know what? The problem I have with that is people keep saying, but he was facing his own goal line. It doesn't matter which way you're facing. It matters which way the ball bounces.
That's right.
And if you're moving forward and the ball is still coming down and you've gone past it, it's still a knock on.
Yeah, but what about those ones where, there was one on the weekend where it went between his legs and went backwards, and the ref goes, knock on.
Some of those are a bit dodgy.
No. That ball was travelling in that direction and it went straight through his legs.
Yeah, but I've also seen it where the same thing's happened where he has touched it and it's gone down, but momentum has carried it. But the initial movement was straight down, which is a knock-on.
Well, let's be fair to him. If it's a knock-on, it's a knock-on.
Right.
Yeah. I know.
All right.
Anyway, I'm right, you're wrong,
That's
all that matters.
Let's talk football.
Let's talk football. If I can make my little thing work.
Come on, Steve.
What? You give me a hard time.
Oh,
okay. Thursday night, Knights
Smooth.
and... What?
Smooth.
Nothing smooth about this show, let me tell you. Thursday night, Knights beat the Broncos 27-6.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is there anything positive we can really say about the Broncos at the moment?
Xavier Coates.
Okay, that's one. That's good.
That's about it.
Payne Haas.
Yeah, Payne Haas.
Do you think he was playing well?
Yeah. He's carrying the team.
Yeah, probably right. Yep.
I don't know. Look. There was, I watched this game and I highlight little things, and Kurt Mann and Kalen Ponga, they are coming out with off the cuff stuff that just destroyed Brisbane.
Yep.
and Brisbane are continually, we've got all these great young forwards coming through. Daniel Safidi and David Clemmer owned them.
Oh, they did. Daniel Safidi had the best game I've seen.
They were owned. It was amazing to watch.
Which is why I'm asking the question about whether you think Payne Haas really did that well at all.
Well, I think
he's the main one trying.
I'm not doubting he's trying. I'm not doubting the commitment. I just
see
Pangai Jr. nearly got himself suspended again.
Yeah, there's an issue. You watch games, and I think back to when I thought I could play, and the thing was you wanted to make every tackle, you wanted to take every run, and you know what? You can't do that. There's 13 blokes out there, and it seems like in Brisbane the only one who wants to have a hard hit up and make meters and make a tackle is Payne Haas.
Yeah.
It's like everyone else is just kind of waiting around for something to happen.
Lodge is trying, but I don't think he's not having much impact.
He's not having the impact he was having last year.
Not at all.
No.
But see, but you expect Milford as a half to be able to do what he does off the back of those forwards going forward.
Milford has had long enough.
Can I just say, for about 4 to 5 years, I've been saying Anthony Milford is a fullback. He had one really sensational year at Canberra at fullback, and then Brisbane bought him as a half.
But he played fullback last year and it was useless.
Well, he's not a half.
He played fullback last year.
He doesn't. The thing is, there's no talk between the halves.
No.
You know, they look disorganised.
Yeah.
And Newcastle, very impressive.
Yeah,
they're okay. I think Kurt Mann surprised me. He's playing way above my expectations of him. They're a solid team. I still think they're in the second tier. Honestly, I think they're positioned well on the table, but I still think they've got a lot of development. And this year may not be the year for them.
I don't suspect they're going to win it this year.
Well, I think on their day they can beat anyone as well. It doesn't take much for a team to be off and for them to be on.
No, true.
So be aware.
All right, Bankwest Stadium on Friday night, where the Rabbitohs beat the Warriors 40-12.
You killed the coach, Steve.
We didn't kill the coach. It was the Warriors who killed the coach. Had they won, they might not have killed the coach. But
it was a consistent effort looking at the try scoring times. Cody Walker made a huge difference.
Huge difference. Cody is really, I mean, without him, the team really doesn't go forward.
Yep. The thing I really
have that spark.
Enjoyed about watching them play was the variety of ways they scored. There was no just passing on the line. There was no kicking. It was a few different things.
The bunnies.
They found different ways to score tries, and I thought that bodes really well for your team. The fact that they've got a lot of variety.
Yeah.
I thought Latrell had another really decent game. Some of his passing
is superb. Yeah.
Should probably cop a couple of weeks with a swinging arm, but
it wasn't a swinging arm.
Yeah, just hit him.
Well, the guy was
it just hit him. It just hit him in the head, and he went off for HIA and didn't come back.
It was an accidental hit.
So, when I said that, excuse me, let me just say,
this was your defence
last year. There was an accidental high shot by a Manly player.
Yeah.
He was sidestepped. Oh, no. There was one. Newcastle. Adam Fanoa-Blake hit Mitchell Pearce. Mitchell Pearce was slipping and Adam just fell on him.
Fell on him?
Yeah.
Adam Fanoa-Blake doesn't
Seriously. Are we comparing that with an accidental clip over the head?
He was going to tackle him and Pearce slipped and it hit him in the face and Adam got 2 weeks. But because it's Latrell, he's never going to get cited now, is it? Is it more bunny favouritism? You guys are set up to win the comp. It's disgusting.
Good!
Did Egan get cited for a potential eye gouge?
No.
Yes.
Do anything?
Yeah,
did he?
Yes, 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah, he's potentially going to miss 2 weeks. Of course he should.
I thought there was intent there. He was looking for his eyes.
I'm not sure he was intent.
He was looking for his eyes, I think.
I'd hate to think there was intent.
Probably out of character, but yeah.
Yeah. No, good win by the Bunnies.
Yeah.
Yes, and just to make Steve happy.
Right. Go on, that'll be a first.
Steve, we both play Super Coach. Tom's too weak for that.
I haven't played for a couple of weeks, but okay.
I last week moved Latrell into my team.
Wow.
There you go.
Such was his good
so
performance over the last 2 weeks.
So all of a sudden you are winning, right?
I've always been winning.
Yeah, look, I thought South performed very well. I'm looking forward to James Roberts coming back.
Gee, you're hanging your hat on James Roberts.
For who?
Sorry, for who?
For who?
Braden Burns.
Oh, Braden.
Gagai.
Braden Burns. If you're listening out there, mate, there's a spot over at Manly. We'll take you because you're sensational.
Trust me, Manly will take anybody.
Mate, seriously, you're going to get rid of Braden Burns.
No, I'm not going to get rid of Braden Burns. I'm saying...
you're going to be like, Roosters, just put him in reserve grade. Of course,
there is no reserve grade.
Yeah, I know.
We'll talk about that other one later. All right, let's go on to the Penrith Panthers beating the Storm 21-14. And in an impressive win too. I didn't think Melbourne were really on their game, but it was a good win.
See, I didn't think they were off. A lot of people are saying that, but Cameron Munster was exceptional.
Yeah.
Melbourne controlled the speed of the game the whole way through. They were in control of the game and could not take their opportunities. So, actually, if you were to tell me if you could take just the tries out and watch the game, I think you would say that Melbourne would have won that game. They looked in control.
I know. I thought Melbourne went in and out of control,
Ooh.
and that's why I'm saying I didn't think Melbourne were on their game, because usually they're controlling the game for major parts of it, and I didn't think they were. And look, credit to Penrith, because they were the ones who were taking that control back from Melbourne. So you know what, I thought it was an exceptional game, and
But in saying that, look, Panthers scored one fluke try from the Cleary chip over the top straight into Kikau's arms.
That's not a fluke.
Well,
it's
probably well rehearsed.
You know what? I actually think it was a miss kick, and Kikau just took advantage of it, and it was soft. Of all the tries,
it was soft.
You take that try out, that one soft try, and it's 15-14, a field goal difference. Mm-hmm. I do not think Melbourne were out of that game.
I'm not saying they were.
Anyone who's writing Melbourne off for that game,
no.
is insane.
No.
Cleary was solid.
Yep.
I thought he had a really solid game.
Yep.
Yeah, Kikau was exceptional.
We said at the beginning of the season that Cleary now needed to own that team.
Yep.
And I think he's starting to show that.
Absolutely.
And you're right, Munster, I don't like Munster, but he some of his plays are sensational.
Yep.
That pass he passed to Bronco Lee was an exceptional pass.
And a few more run-ins with the ref for Cameron Smith.
Oh, that was so good. I'm sorry, Sally. If you're still
watching the replay on
if you're still watching,
Sally, if you're still watching, it was just hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Where he was having a shot at the ref about the decision that was made, and the ref goes, "Captain's challenge." That'll make you shut up, won't it? Hey, you can actually, if you're
fair actually Klein for sticking by his guns.
Yeah, if you're fair dinkum, mate, challenge it.
Yeah. All right, let's go on to Suncorp Stadium, where the Dragons beat the Titans 20-8, and Barry is over the moon.
Really?
Hey, it's a win.
All right, you take the W, yes.
We take the win anytime.
Yep. All right.
I tell you, the one thing that you've got to say is that Dufty's having a blinder for a couple of weeks.
Yes.
He's really standing out, isn't he? I thought his passing game amazing.
I thought Zach Lomax was amazing. Oh my goodness, what a difference! He is. There's been a lot of talk for the Dragons for the last 2 years about how good he is. He stepped up.
I got to say, I was disappointed in how the Titans performed. I thought after they were good in the second half last week against the Bunnies, and I'm surprised they couldn't carry that on.
Yes.
2 weeks ago, Taylor looked terrific, and he's just gone back in his shell.
I don't know. What do you do? And they had that young fella coming off the bench.
Tanner Boyd?
Yeah. He can play.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
it's good.
They got some decent players in that team.
Yep.
And I think the coach is doing a good job. I'm not suggesting he should go, but
he's been handed a dog or a roster.
There's something wrong there. I think they've got to let go a few players, and I think that's what they're thinking. They've got to move on some and get some.
So next year the club could look very different.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and after that, gentlemen, we had the West Tigers beating North Queensland Cowboys. The halftime score was 34-0,
which means the Cowboys won the second half 20-2.
Yes, I know
that's a worrying statistic for them.
It is.
I tell you, it's a game of two halves, and a game of two halves, 34-0, then 20-2.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
I know.
I mean, and it was like the Tigers wanted the Cowboys to be in the comp. in the game.
Yeah.
It's like they'd score and then they'd have an error just to let the Cowboys, if you're good enough, you can score. It was so frustrating.
But it's interestingly, nothing went right for the Cowboys in the first half.
No.
There was they're not some bad calls, but some odd things happened in that first half that really are not Cowboy-like.
Some fluky stuff.
Some fluky stuff,
yeah.
But I couldn't believe it. As they kept adding up these tries, I thought this is amazing.
So, Harry Grant.
Don't let him go back to Melbourne. He's got to stay.
Well, I heard an interview with Madge during the week, and basically the question what that was put to him was, apparently, if Cameron Smith re-signs, Harry Grant has a get-out clause.
That's right.
Let me just tell you, Harry Grant comes on the market. I do not think there are any clubs sitting on their hands.
No. And that's right. The Tigers might not be able to afford to keep him.
9 games or something.
Oh, but he looks like he belongs.
He looks like he's played 50 or 100. Yeah.
But see, the other thing you've got to consider is, even if Cameron Smith does decide to go, you've also got
Brandon Smith,
and Cooper Johns.
Cooper Johns. So I
Yeah.
don't know that he'd fit back into the team anyway.
You can't have them all, Melbourne.
I mean, honestly, wouldn't you play Brandon Smith at hooker?
Well, I would have until Harry Grant's now taken the game. Like, his short passing game is sensational.
Yeah.
Like, I think the best of any hooker in the comp. I don't necessarily know whether he's got the vision and the kicking skills and the speed of a...
But he's only played a few games. But he's shown so much potential.
His short passing game is exceptional.
And his running game too. I think he runs really well. And he seems to be able to time it properly, and he seems to be able to, just... He's a little like Cook. He not as fast, but he just darts from dummy half.
Yeah, he's very good.
He's energetic, there's no doubt. What about Paul Green gave them an almighty spray in the first half time?
You see him at half time. Wow. Well,
it didn't help enough, but it helped.
Yeah, but did it help enough? Because the Tigers just fell apart in the second half.
They copped some injuries in the second half and couldn't keep it up.
Still. I never expected they would continue to go on with it. But you know what? If they're going to go anywhere in this competition, they need to take a 34-0 halftime score
and turn it to a 50.
And turn it into a 50. Maybe not 60 or 70, but at least turn it into a 50. It's it's only 2 or 3 tries.
And just scored 2 points in the second half. It's just terrible.
Yeah.
So that's a worry.
All right, let's go on to... Oh, do we want to?
Game of the century.
Oh, wasn't that good?
Game of the century.
It's coming up.
Okay, at Bankwest Stadium on... When was this one? Saturday
night.
Saturday. We had the Roosters beating the Parramatta Eels 24-10. Mind you, the Eels were in this up until 70 minutes.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. I thought it was a really, really tough, hard game, and I thought the Eels... The Eels... the Roosters did what they've been doing for the last couple of weeks. They came out with a flyer. Their speed was phenomenal, and they could not breach the Eels line. I thought I was very proud of the way that the Eels were defending.
And you were very happy with the Morris boys.
Morris was just exceptional.
The stat was for the first half 215 tackles by the Eels.
Yeah.
What? What kind of a stat is 215 first half tackles?
Yeah.
Big
number.
I must admit, it didn't look like that when I was watching it. But, thinking about it, Roosters had all the run and play.
Yeah.
But there were so many half chances. Both teams, they just couldn't... That final step, that last pass, that desperate tackle.
There's nothing in the stats. You look at the stats. There's really nothing in the stats. The difference was that last 17 minutes.
Yeah. And you can't play against the Roosters with 12 men and win.
No.
I thought that. I can see why he was sin bin. I thought that was a shame because I
don't agree with that sin binning at all.
I would rather they have had 13 men on and we played 13 men. Because it's a bit more hollow. But at the same time, I think the difference was just the Roosters have been together for a long time. They were cohesive. Luke Keary is an absolute genius. Seriously, he played it lined up. And then to get through the line and to put that try on for Cordner, it turned the game, And Tupou got a cork in the first couple of minutes. and played right through. That was really courageous. But the Morris boys have been an incredible addition to the team. I mean, honestly, nobody could have imagined how well.
No.
But you know, they've been playing in ordinary teams for the last half a dozen years of their career,
and still looking good. So
yeah, so and now they're in a team that's good.
And that's the Payne Haas factor. He's in a team that's getting lapped, and he looks good.
Imagine if you put him into Manly or to
please, yes, I'd love it.
So there's a rumour going around that James Fisher-Harris is looking at going to the Roosters.
Well, I don't know where that came from. He's having a sensational season, I've got to say.
Yeah.
For Panthers, I never imagined.
But where would they put him? I mean, seriously, and I mean, we talked about it on Facebook. You know, the only option is to get rid of Angus Crichton.
Well, he's more a prop than a second.
That's right. But you're going to get rid of Jared?
No way.
Well, you move. Well, Jared's in the final year of his contract, isn't he?
No, he's just re-signed.
They'll re-sign him.
But that's what the Roosters do. They buy an international forward, stick him in reserve grade, put him on the bench. Doesn't matter
because they plan ahead.
Doesn't matter
because they plan ahead.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, Steve. It's the Roosters. You can have 37 internationals. You're the Roosters. Everybody costs 37 cents.
You make me laugh, Brian. You make me laugh.
Yeah. Well done, Roosters. I didn't want him to win.
That's all rumour. So who knows?
Yeah. Okay.
You know, I don't want to get rid of Angus Crichton. He's just starting to come into his own.
I know.
He's tremendous.
You want him at Manly, do you?
Yeah, I thought he was good at South. He's got a little bit better at the Roosters. Just imagine him.
He's not playing as good as he was at the Roosters.
Just imagine him under Des.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not kidding.
You are kidding me.
You know what he
had a quiet game this week. But the week before.
You know what the problem is? That's the problem. He keeps having quiet games, then a good game, then a couple of quiet games, then a good game. You can't do that if you want to be top level.
Yeah, and you got to remember, when he was playing with South, he was being picked for State of Origin. He's
that's
not
true
playing
too.
well enough to be...
He wasn't in the State of Origin late last year.
No, that's right. It was with you last year.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
all right.
So you killed his career. You know that, don't you? Absolutely shattered it.
Crueled his career.
How did he do that? Yeah. 90% completion for the Roosters. That is unheard of.
No, it's not.
Not for the Roosters, it is.
Okay, let's move on.
Yeah.
Campbelltown Sports Stadium, where the Sea Eagles beat the Raiders 14-6 with a couple of inconsequential injuries.
Well, you went into the game without Tapau.
Yep.
Without Sully.
Without George Tafua.
George Tafua. You're missing three top-line players.
We've got no depth, and Corey Waddell, who has been on our bench every game this year.
Yeah.
So we went in 4 players down.
And then
no depth.
And then you lost Dylan Walker,
Brad Parker within 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then just one of your sort of minor players, Tommy, the best player in your team, and still managed to win the game. That's impressive. That was an impressive win.
I thought I can. That was an amazing win.
Yep.
Everybody. Tom was texting me, and a couple of people sent me messages. When Dylan Walker went down, it was. Wow, that's going to be tough. And I'm thinking, I'm looking at the bench and I'm going, 1 player down. And you know what? We've actually got a 5'8" on the bench. I'm thinking, what a fluke. If you had to pick 1 player to go down. And then, a minute later, Brad Parker's knocked out cold and I'm going, uh-oh.
So how did he actually go out? Because did he hit his head on the ground? Because it didn't seem to make any contact with the player. The other thing I thought was when he hit the ground, maybe the ball actually knocked him.
Yeah, it looked like he hit the ball and hit the ground and simultaneously the ball hit him in the face.
Actually, we didn't talk about Teddy's knockout either.
No,
I know. You know what Teddy needs to do? Teddy needs to have a look at Tom, and that's how you stop him. Like from the week before when we played Parramatta. Watch it. I'm shocked at that point. I was thinking, all right, we're in trouble. Manly just kept coming and coming. I was very happy, and as a Manly supporter, that was a mighty fine win against a team that many considered to be premiership contenders.
Having said that, and I won't take too much away from Manly, but the Raiders are in a hole.
Oh yeah, the Raiders. I don't understand. As they were attacking, they go down the left-hand side and they looked good. I mean, mind you, because Jack Gajanski's playing in the centres because that's what you do, play back rowers in the centre, and they didn't keep going there, but they kept making ground, and I'm thinking, why are you not why do they not attack down that side? And then they try and play up the middle again.
But
And I don't think the middle is where you're going to beat Manly. Their forwards are strong. So
yeah, that's right. But the Raiders are being very inconsistent at the moment. So round 3 they beat
Melbourne.
the Storm
Yeah.
22-6. They then come out the week later and get done almost lapped by the Knights 34-18.
Yep.
Then they come out and beat the Tigers 14-6.
Which is not a great result.
And then they lose to Manly 14-6. So, and not taking anything away against Manly.
And if you hadn't lost your 3 players, you might have won 30-6.
Oh, look, one would assume so. But, you know, I don't know. I think the Raiders, I don't know what to say about them. They George Williams in that game against Melbourne looked like he could take them to a premiership.
Yeah.
Now he looks like he doesn't know where to pass the ball. I don't understand.
Yeah, there's something going wrong, isn't there?
So Hayden, our Canberra supporter on Facebook, tell us what's wrong with the Raiders and tell us what they need to do to fix it.
Because I must admit, you look at their team and you go, they should be winning comfortably a lot more.
Whiten's still playing fantastic.
Yeah, Hodgson's plays great. They've got a great forward pack.
Yeah.
Jared Croker.
Yeah, but they're not playing as a team at the moment. That's the thing.
No, Elliot Whitehead was. I thought he was exceptional.
Yeah.
Without him, they would have lost by more.
He's a good player.
And what about the playing surface?
Yeah, that's.
Do we make comment? 3 games in 48 hours, and then all of a sudden there's a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
Then the NRL goes, "Oh, we're taking games away from here."
It's chopped up.
It's too late.
Yeah. But then again, you can't anticipate. It's not Minority Report. You can't say you're going to get these injuries, so we're going to stop them.
No. But at the point when...
So where are they going to take them to?
Well, the SCG should be opened up again, I think.
No. But what about Penrith?
No, I can't recall. They're going to Cogra.
Oh, they're going to Cogra.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't know.
Okay.
But let's face it, in 2 weeks it's back to home games anyway.
Well, you hope so. Okay, let's go on to the last game of the round at Bankwest Stadium, where the Sharks narrowly defeated the Bulldogs 20-18.
I'm so sorry for the Dogs. They just show so much heart.
You know, I actually thought they were going to get away with that.
So did I.
Yeah.
So did I.
Wakeham and Forum look good in the halves.
Yep.
They straighten things up and they look nippy.
Yep.
Wakeham got binned, didn't he? Which was a dumb thing to do, and that got the Sharks.
But again, it wasn't dumb. I don't know what he did wrong. I mean, I know that he said there've been a string of penalties.
Yeah.
Actually,
he wasn't.
Was
actually, I want to talk about that in a minute because let's talk about it now because we're talking about it. But there were a number of players that were binned because of ongoing penalties in matches. I can't recall the first.
Cody Walker did.
Cody Walker, yeah. And basically the ref goes, mate, you've had 3 penalties off.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily his in.
No.
Yeah.
And
I
I agree.
Were told that was going to happen.
And I'm happy for that to happen because there's an illegality in the game. There's slowing it down. There's but that wasn't even illegal.
No, look, he went in with a little bit of a shoulder.
It was
but
stupid.
he was being dragged out.
Right. That's when he went down.
Yeah. But he was being dragged out. He went on top of him and actually stopped the tackle from being dragged out.
But he drove his shoulder into his hips.
That's the only thing that you can say. But that happens every game.
Yeah, look, I'll tell you
that looked like intense.
The only problem was it wasn't a good look when you have a bloke who's lying on the ground being dragged and somebody coming over the top of him.
No,
that's not a good look.
But honestly, it still happens. You get a guy who takes the ball from a kick and he goes down. More often than not, another guy will jump on the top of him. I don't know. I didn't get it. I didn't understand.
Doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah, and getting penalised too.
That's right.
And Sam shouldn't have been penalised either.
But
anyway, I felt sorry for the Dogs. But look,
I'll tell you who I feel sorry for. Matt Moylan was having a great game. And Dallin hit him so hard.
He got DW's in
it. I know George hits big, but that was a hit.
That was
commentators were saying that. We think he's lost some hair there. They got blown out.
That was a monster.
And Matt Moylan afterwards. See, I like Matt Moylan. I think he's a really smart footballer, and if he can stay injury free, he's sensational. But even afterwards, I like how he got up. He wouldn't look at him, then gets taken off with the HIA, and then comes back later and says, "Oh, what did you think of it?" And he goes, "Oh, mate, that was the best hit." I was like, "Dude, you got buried 3 foot under. You're nearly dead."
Well, they used to play together.
Yeah, and Katoa for the Sharks was amazing. He's a sensational player.
Three tries. Yeah.
That first one with the
Yeah, but which he didn't have to do if he only stepped the other way.
Oh, no, the defender was coming across.
Yeah, I know, but
wingers who do that, it just blows me away.
Yeah, I used to do it, but it's okay. Let's go on to round 7 of the
wingers, not whingers.
Listen, one day I will bring in my highlights reel, okay?
We'll watch 3 seconds of football.
Did they have video in those
You think
days?
it's going to go that long, do you?
Did they have video in those days? Sorry, let's move on. Ladder? The ladder?
We had old projectors and
Do you want me to read the ladder?
Super 8s. Do the ladder.
Can I just say?
Yes.
Yes.
Can I just say about this ladder? If we weren't ripped off of that forward pass, you know where we'd be, won't you? First.
But it
you're
was a
not.
forward pass, so you
It
stop
wasn't a
whining.
forward pass, and you know it. All right.
You wouldn't be
Stop
first.
your
You
whining.
You wouldn't be first
You.
because on for and against, you're still below the Eels. That's
Okay, do the ladder. Come on.
okay.
Certainly
First
get bored.
place after their first loss of the season, the Eels on 10 points. The Knights and the Panthers on 9. The Roosters have risen up to 4th position with the Raiders, the Storm, the Seagulls all on 8 points, and in 8th position is the Rabbitohs
Fluke.
on 6.
Fluke.
Just out of the 8.
What?
The West, excuse me, just out of the 8, the West Tigers, where they normally live most of every season, in 9th position on 6 points. Then on 4, we've got a lot of teams on 4. We've got the Cowboys, the Sharks, the Dragons, the Warriors, the Broncos, then the Bulldogs and the Titans on 2 points.
All right, gentlemen. What are we at? We're a quarter of the way into the season.
Yeah.
Do you see that 8 changing?
No. I'll be honest with you, I
Tom?
don't.
Oh, look, I think Rabbitohs, Tigers, there could be a little bit of movement there.
Is that it? Now Cowboys
You're so
and Sharks?
hateful.
Shush. I'm not talking
say
to
you
you.
So hateful.
You had your say. You said, I can't see it changing.
Yeah, that's the only change I can think of.
You don't think the Cowboys Sharks...
No hope.
Well, I'm actually inclined to agree. I think the only change could be the Tigers might sneak in there somewhere.
And the Roosters being out.
This is an upward trend, mate.
It's probably the Raiders are in the biggest trouble out of that top 8.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
if they don't shape up, they're going to be...
But they're good enough to finish in the 8 somewhere.
Well, they were last year. Whether they
were.
are right now, I don't know.
Okay, normally at this time I'd go through the tipping competition for NRL from the sidelines, but I had such a bad week. I'm going to.
I got 2
I think I
wrong.
picked 1.
Yeah, me too. I got 6, you got 6.
I think I picked 2 right.
Okay, you got the 2 we didn't get.
Start picking Manly.
Yeah, I didn't do that either. Okay, let's go on to Thursday night at Netstrata Jubilee Stadium with the Panthers playing the Bunnies.
Panthers.
Yeah,
Come
Panthers.
on, give it some thought.
I did.
Yeah, Panthers.
Panthers.
No, give it some real thought.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Panthers.
Panthers.
The Bunnies are going to win this, and I'm going to tell you they're going to win by 8.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Bradley, the Bunnies are going to win by 8.
the
Panthers
other way
by 7.
around.
Huh?
Panthers by 7.
I'm the other way around. The Panthers are just playing too consistently well. Rabbitohs got a lot of strike in them,
Yeah.
but I think the Panthers are
They're defending quite well.
They're a little bit more upbeat.
Yeah, and they're defending well. You won't get the opportunities you had against the Warriors.
Bunnies by 8. Okay, let's go on to Amy Park at this stage, where the Storm are playing the Warriors.
Yes, this will be a blowout.
No, usually when a coach gets
I
sacked,
was going to say...
the
it could
team comes back
be
and
careful.
wins, but I don't think this is going to happen.
Give us a score for this game. We're all going to Storm. Yes.
38-10.
I was going to say Storm will win by 20, but
Storm never score huge scores.
Yeah, don't worry, they will.
26-6.
yeah, it'll be 20 points.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, jeez, I've just lost
Friday
that.
night. Friday night.
On Friday night we have the Roosters and the Dragons.
Oh, this could be nasty.
No, I think the Dragons will perform well.
The
think
Roosters
they
will win, and they'll win comfortably, but the Dragons will try hard.
Oh, I think this could get very nasty. Sorry, Barry. Although I really don't want the Roosters to win.
You're Barry's favourite on this panel, and now you're saying that you're going to shatter him.
I don't want the Roosters to win. I just don't think the Dragons can.
No, I'm going the Roosters.
Oh, isn't that a horrible thing to say?
It is. It hurts.
Good for me.
I feel like my head's exploding. All right, Cowboys and the Knights at Queensland Country Bank Stadium on Saturday.
Knights. Cowboys won't. We've got nothing.
I'm tempted to pick I'm tempted to pick the Cowboys. I think the Knights are struggling after they have a big win.
Did you see what McCulloch said today in the paper? He challenged them all to come out and do a lot better than what they've been doing.
Right.
To actually perform.
Otherwise, they won't win games.
That's right.
Yeah, Knights.
Yeah, I'm probably leading the Knights.
Oh,
Broncos and the Titans
goodness
at
me.
Suncorp Stadium.
This is a toss of the coin. I don't think even the Broncos could be bad enough to lose against the Titans.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. After I picked them last week and they let me down, I'm glad that the Dragons won, but I picked the Titans and they let me down.
The Broncos will win not by much, and the coach will say they've turned the corner.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no. You know what? They could win by 40 against the Titans. You never know, and he'll still say we've turned the corner.
Yeah. All right, and Bankwest Stadium on Saturday evening as well. Parramatta Eels against the Raiders. This should be a good game. I'm looking forward to this one.
I think the Raiders will be trying to remedy things, but the Eels are buoyant. I mean, yeah, they got beaten, but they didn't disgrace themselves.
You know what?
They'll be buoyant.
I'm actually thinking the Raiders are going to win this one. I think I'll go with the Raiders.
Okay, I'm going the Eels.
Because I just think the Raiders are going to...
Head, not your heart, mate. Okay.
The Raiders had lost last week, and I think that will hurt them. And I think last week's game against the Roosters took a lot out of Parramatta.
I think they're in a slump, the Raiders.
Oh, I hope you're right, Steve. I really hope you're right.
I'll be going Raiders. Right?
I don't want to say it.
No, you do.
He's going the Eels. Okay. I said it for you, okay?
See how we look after you in this show. We're so nice to you. Okay, Sunday afternoon.
Hey, we were all going to Roosters, weren't we? Yeah, that's good. Okay, good. Just checking that.
Come on. That was ages ago.
I know, but I'd just like to reiterate it in case
Yeah,
people
but
didn't hear
you know
it.
what? If you can't beat the Dragons, come on, seriously.
What were you about to say? What kind of dragons were they?
He was going to say Sharks because he's thinking about this
I
game.
thought he was going to say. I thought he was describing the dragons. It started with SH.
I would never say that. Okay, let's go on to Manly and the Sharks on Sunday afternoon. We're at Central Coast Stadium.
Danger game.
It's not going to. It would have been an easy game had you not lost those players.
Do you know our record against the Sharks is exceptional?
Yeah.
You'll beat the Sharks easy in this one.
Well, missing 6 players.
No, apparently Marty and Georges might be back.
Oh, Seagulls then.
So who do you put into fullback with Tom not there?
It'd be Brendan Elliott.
Who hasn't?
Not bad.
Who's a decent player.
He caused that try against the Raiders by rushing out of the line.
Yeah.
Look, you know what the thing is, I think Manly are still a year off. Like we've got,
you're not going to win it this.
We've got this fantastic group of young players that just can't play first grade yet. Like Albert Hopewadi is a sensational fullback.
But that's the other option. They said they might put him in for.
Can't. He's been out for 12 months.
Yeah.
He hasn't played a game. Like you can't throw him into first grade at
I
that.
thought he played
I thought he played this season.
Yeah, he has.
No.
I thought he came off the bench this season.
No. He's been busted with a busted knee.
Okay.
So, and you've got Josh Schuster and Ben Travojevic. Like, we've got blokes coming through, but they're just too young.
All right. Bankwest Stadium on Sunday.
Hang on, so we're all going to Eagles?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be tight, but I think the Eagles.
No, I'm sorry. You'll smash them.
Thank you, Steve.
The Sharks have nothing.
You know what? That's it. I'm picking the Barneys for that.
Thank you. And the last game of the round again, Bulldogs against the Tigers at Bankwest.
I so want to say the Bulldogs, but I don't think I can.
No, it's got to be the Tigers.
No, you know what? I'm sticking with the Bulldogs.
Good on you.
I picked them to beat whoever they lost to last week. I'm sticking with them. I think the Bulldogs look that close to winning.
Sorry, I can't do it. I picked them this week, and they let me down.
Well, actually, yeah, the Bulldogs actually can't score points, can they?
No.
Really.
And the Tigers can.
Yeah, when they want to.
And they got close last week on an intercept.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Oh, Albert Hopewadi, the left.
Will Hopewadi.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez, he had a sublime
Yeah,
game.
he was exceptional.
He's their best player.
By
far.
Yeah, by a long way.
By a long way.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. that brings us to the end of our show. Thank you all for watching. Brian, have you got anything intelligent you want to end before we go?
You didn't make me too angry, Steve. Why? What's going on? Did you hold back?
I felt sorry for you.
You got nothing.
You're wearing that ugly hat.
You
What can
got
I say?
nothing. Nothing.
Nothing.
Like the bunnies. Nothing.
You got anything intelligent you want to say, or just going to sit there looking stupid?
That was intelligent, mate. You got nothing.
Tom?
Roosters just keep going. I'm really pleased. Really pleased. It's good.
Okay, thank you all for watching. Please, when you get this show and you have a look at it and you see just how great it is, share it around to everybody.
Even before you see it. Just share it.
Yeah, share it to everybody anyway. Share it to your mother, your brothers, your sisters.
Your dog. Because Steve's got plenty of animals in his club.
You see what I have to put up with? Please share it around. We want to get the show out there. We think it's a gem. Okay.
We think we're adequate.
Thanks for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the show, and we'll do it all again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Ciao.
Bye.